Evening, and yes, the kilted guff, I have got a cup of tea again. I am always drinking, but I always feel the need to wet my whistle before I start talking. And I've just done a workout, that's why I've got my slopped my jumper on, my tatty one that I wear when I've done a workout for feeling comfy. I just did some kettlebells and I did okay. Got down the wrong hole. I did okay, but I'm really not getting this just weak. Still feeling weak, my arms. Maybe it's because I've not been doing it for a bit, so the kettlebells anyway, I've not, I don't know, they don't normally feel like that. Even if I've left it a bit and gone back to it, they've never felt like I couldn't lift it up. But anyway, I did it. I'll see what I'm like tomorrow. I'll probably be aching. Oh, I've got my earrings in today. The moon and the sun. I still can't wait to get this. I know I keep harping on about getting my hair cut, but I can't wait. It needs styling. It's doing my head in. I didn't really know what I was going to talk about today. Well, I sort of did, but I never plan anything. I write it down and then look at it and don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to talk about Dr. Emottos. I'm going to show you the last of it now because I'm going to chuck it because it's rancid. But we all know the results. Anyway, or you should do from watching them if you've been watching them. I'll do some card readings. I was going to talk about plants today. If you follow me on Instagram, then you might see a little thing I put up about these Dracula plants. I don't think it's called Dracula plant, but I'll explain in a minute. I think I can read my writing. But yeah, so Dr. Emoto. You know, with the rice experiment, I've been doing the love, hate, and when you ignore it. So if anyone's watching this and don't know what I'm talking about, basically I filled 3 containers up with cooked white rice. I'm not going to explain the whole experiment because you'll have to go back and watch my others or type in on YouTube Dr. Emoto's rice experiment or whatever and it should come up with people. But the love one, you write love on one of them, and every morning when you get, I did it in the morning when I was making a brew, you know, making things breakfast while I was sat watching telly. Hold the container that it's in. People have done big ones, I just did little containers, and just project a lot of love on it. Either say it out loud or say it in your head, but just be thinking love, love, you know, lovely words like you're beautiful, you're kind, you're special, you're wonderful, you know, positive words or positive thoughts. And then the hate one, it's all negative. So you can go mad, you can say what you want. If you're not really liking someone at the minute, aim it at the hate pot. Say everything that's hurtful, hatred, ugly, whatever, to the hate one. The ignore, you just don't say anything to it. So you've seen my results for the other week, but last week when I did it, they really did start changing like a day or so after last Wednesday. I was like, oh my God, this is why you can see the results now, so I don't have to go on and on and on with it. So anyway, love is, I daren't open it because I bet they both stink. Love, I don't know if I can pull a sticker off. Love, just so you can see. Anyway, this one's love. I don't know if you can see. It did have, it's really weird, it did have, when it started, like the hate got a bit of moulding first and the love got a little bit of moulding, but it's still there, but it's gone a mucky colour, like a brown, and it's got a lot of white, well, fluffy stuff on the top, and then the big piece of green mould that's been there from the beginning is there, but nothing else has gone green. It's just like dirty brown, like dirty dishwater or something. Don't know if you can see. That bit there was the green mould that it started from, and the rest of it's like a murky brown, like a dirty. And I don't know if you can see can you see that bit that looks like hair in it? That's like browny, fluffy stuff. Now, I'm going to show you the ignore before the hate. The Ignore was white, but it has started getting, which is weird, mould in it, but it's still white, you know. So it did start to go, and it's just started growing fluffy bits on top. That was the Ignore. Now Hate is just green, dark. Starting to go underneath, it's just that little patch there, but basically, I'd hate to open this. It's just... So the difference between Love and Hate is that's really dark green, and then you've got, so you can see the difference. Plainly see the difference. And then you've got the Ignore, which is just starting to go. So it's like a bit of both of these, but obviously it's worked. Positive thoughts, you know, attract positive things, negative thoughts, feelings, and everything. Attract negative things, you know, action. Because putting a lot of negative and horrible sayings and thoughts on that has caused a reaction to make it go like that. Positive thoughts and feelings and everything, and energy and that on this one has caused a reaction on love as well. And I was meant to say when I started this, also when I was looking at this ages ago, because it was a few years ago, the Dr. Emottos thing. If you think about it, he did it on water. This is just to show you with cooked rice that it still does it on stuff. Anyway, you could probably do it with plants, probably. He did it on water, and they were also saying our bodies are made up of a lot of percentage of water. I don't know what it is, but I know it's a lot. So if you think about it, if someone is saying nasty things to you, or you're saying nasty things to your own self, it's going to affect, like, I don't know, the molecules in your body, how you feel, if you get what I mean. I know what I mean, if you know what I mean. But it's just proving a point that it's hard to be positive all the time. I'm a positive person. I'm not positive like every second of the day. I just try to be. And it's not always every day, but I don't have dead down days, but because I just try and pull myself back out of it, do something or other. I can get upset about things. You know, but it just shows you try to be more positive than negative, because it can only cause actions of things coming towards you that just ain't going to be good for you. But the positive will, and that proves it. I don't know if anyone did it, but it was good. So I'm just glad now that I can chuck these away, because I don't want them in the kitchen anymore. I can chuck them now. I have to cleanse the place after that hate one and get rid of all the bad energy, but that's on that one. But yeah, so I thought that was quite interesting. I knew that's what had happened because I've read it and seen a lot of experiments on it, but I just wanted to show you. If anyone did do it, or if you're thinking of doing it, try it. Honestly, you can get your kids to, you know, talk to the rice. But also, what else was I going to say? Oh, I didn't get to read my Spirit and Destiny magazine last night because I was watching Iron Fist or something. And there was something in the last month's one that I was looking at about plants, because, you know, I've been growing my plants, and so far, these are what I planted a few weeks ago from seed? Yeah, from seed from Aldi. I've just got some others. They're coming. They need a drink, actually. I need to give them a drink. But they actually need to, I don't know what they are. They need to go in the garden, so I'm going to try and do that before this weekend or this weekend. I've got some compost, but I've left it in Finn's and Anna's car, so I need to get it off her. These are doing quite well, whatever they are. They are flowers, I just don't know what they are, but obviously I need to put them out because they can't stay in this pot, and they're for outside anyway. And then I've got my lovely, these are my favourite. I need to get some more because I like these in the house. I love orchids, and they flower all year round in my house. I don't know if that's what they're supposed to do, but they do flower all year round. Getting new little buds here. The flowers fall off and then they come back again. And I have one in the bathroom that's forever ever got in winter and everything. It's just ongoing all the time. So I've got one that I'm trying to bring back to life because in the conservatory, because it's sort of, I don't know what happened to that one, but I remember having one once and all the flowers dropped off and my mum kept saying, no, it's died. And I said, oh, just leave it for a bit. And I left it for age and age, but it did end up coming back. But this one does well. And I've got a white one upstairs and I want loads more. These are only from Morrison's. I've had them for ages, but they need repotting. I want to get like a big pot, you know, put a few in and maybe put them on the middle of the dining room table because... Ooh. Oh no, so I know I keep showing you my little avocado, but I am very proud of him. Oh, it's him. Because it's getting longer. I'm sure he was shorter the other day, look. Probably keep calling him a guy because it's like he's got a little wedgie there now. Look. And I can see through the crack in there, and I can see a little shoot, but it's got to wait for it to crack here to point out. But, you know, I'll be so proud when that shoots out and I can plant it because it was free from an avocado. Well, I had to buy my avocados because I eat avocados every day. But I've got this plant for free if I actually manage to grow it properly. So I will be proud of myself if I do. Because I'm sure it's been 7 weeks, could be 8 weeks. 7 weeks I've been trying to grow this. So you do have to have patience with these. They do take quite a bit of time. But when it pokes through at the top, I'll be chuffed. So we'll just see about that. But it goes into as well. I was watching something on YouTube the other day and I saw this thing come up and it's about plants. Did I put it on, what's it called? Oh, What Plants Talk About it was called. And I thought, might just watch that. So I did, because I was watching different things. And it was basically saying that, you know, they say that all plants don't eat things, well, some do, because them Venus flytrap things do. You know, they don't have brains, they don't do this, but they're saying there's a lot going on under the earth with the root system and, like, there was one that I put on Instagram where they called it the trachea plant or something. I can't remember what it was called. But it liked tomato plants for some reason. I didn't know what a tomato plant was, but it'd need a host and it had to get its host in, say, 24 hours, I don't know, or it would die because it couldn't, like, get its own nutrients by itself. It had to have a host of another plant, so it had to find another plant. I think it wrapped itself around it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched most of it. And then it'd like suck all the nutrients out of that plant to give it its food. Brainy. But the funny thing was on the documentary thing I was watching was they had this little trachea plant thing they called it because it went after something. It had like little, I don't mean it had teeth, but it had like little hair things that would touch it and they would stab the other plant. That's what would go in, you know, like suck the juices out as if it was a vampire sucking the blood out. So I think that's why they called it that. But it did really like tomato plants. So they did a test on it where they put this little plant next to a tomato plant and something else, and then they put one of those cameras on, you know, that shows films it over so long and then it speeds it up so you can see the plant moving, not like, you know, you think nothing's going on, but it is. And it started like swinging its little planty body around like this. And they said it was doing it for hours, but it was as if it was, I know it sounds weird, sniffing. Because apparently plants, when they feel attacked, give off like a smell like this. Apparently say like, you know, when you cut the grass, you're cutting it. You can smell the grass, it's like the vapours of the plant. Something like that. Don't quote me on it, but something like that. So this little plant's doing this, and there's a tomato plant there and something else there. And in the end, it sort of lassoes itself, because it's like a vine thing. Lassoes itself on this tomato plant and picks a tomato plant. So then they thought, right, what did they do? Then they know they can't smell because they haven't got noses. So then they did this test where I think they had a tomato plant, but with a glass bottle over it or something, a glass container, so it wouldn't be able to, I don't mean sniff anything in the air, but whatever it does, it must be able to sniff, I don't know. And then they took the smell of a tomato plant and got the vapors, I don't know, and they had this little tube and it was just pumping out the smell of a tomato plant. So they would see if this plant would go to the tube that was pumping out the smell of the tomato plant, that it, it knew that, oh, that must be that plant that I like to suck the juice out of. And it did, it went to the tube where it was just pumping the smell of, the vapour, the smell of the tomato plant out. It was really interesting. So, and it was saying there's a lot of root work that goes underneath the grounding roots, how, like, obviously the root comes down, but they're saying they do talk to each other over root systems, and they do compete, like when they come and start growing, and it shows you on one of the cameras where they're sort of pushing each other to get to the sun more, one wants to get to the sun, so it's trying to push that one out of the way. Oh, it was dead interesting, but yeah, it was really good, but I'm only talking about plants because I keep saying, we can see, my plant down there is not real, my mum got it me, so it's a bit like, I mean, it's a nice fake plant, but I'd have rather had a real one, which I'm going to get some. And then up there, that's my one that needs to go in the garden. It's a climber, but I was thinking the other night, last night I was thinking, oh, I'd love to just throw it up my wall, but I know I can't do that. Because there's a woman, I've said this before, there's a woman I'm sure she's in New York, and that was just something I came across a few months back, or last year, I don't know. And she has an apartment, and she had a few plants, and she just loved plants and growing plants and seeds, and, growing them from seeds and this and that. But she just had plants in her apartment everywhere. Honest to God, it was like walking through a jungle, but it was dead nice and calming. To me, it was nice and calming, because it just looked like you were outside. And the kitchen had all, like, the hanging baskets with the plants in. Hanging basket better than the little thing I brought. But it just, I just thought it was dead nice. Some people probably wouldn't like it, but I thought it was gorgeous. And I don't mean I want to do that, but I keep saying I want to bring a lot more flowers and plants in. So I need to look up, more like inside plants that don't need a lot of sun, flowers and things like that, because it's all right in the conservatory, and I've got a few things in there. And when I get my nail stuff going up in there, I want that to be like an inside garden where you can chill out, have your nails done, if you get what I mean. But I'll show you that when I do it, because on Friday I'm going to IKEA to go and get my drawers so I can finally sort that room out, put my stuff in there. I said to my sister, would she take, because I refuse to pay £35 for delivery. I was going to get delivered, but I can't afford £35 just for the frigging delivery. I'm like, and it's not that far from where I live, and I'm just like, if I get things sorted out, I'll sit in the back car with it, hopefully, with the box and everything. With the thing in the box, with the box will book it out, we should be able to get it in the car, because it's a set of drawers on coasters, but it's not going to be dead long, I don't think so. I think we'll do it, but I'm not paying £35. I can't afford £35 for delivery. The thing's dear enough on its own, so I can get that sorted out. But and I also think, when I was talking about, I think it was on Witchy Ways, crystal gridding, not that I'm going to go into that, it reminded me of, I think this was Spirit Destinies magazine from, last month. Finn's had a go, it's got stickers in it and everything. It's Easter stickers in it. And pulled the front off. But what I think I'm going to do with my magazines is that, because I do collect them, and I said if you do your mood board, you can use things out of these. They have nice pictures in, or you want to refer back to something. So I'm thinking, I've got a few spare, the binder files. I think I'm just going to, I've got a punch, you see, so I thought, if I punch these, I'll put them in a plastic wallet, I can put them in a file and keep them all, and it keeps them all straight and not getting thin, bloody, pulling them apart and stuff. But there was a bit in it about, I was saying about crystal gridding, but there's like, it looks like, where is it? Flower. There it is. Oh no, it's not. Flower. Where is it? Flower. probably go to bed with my other Spirit Destiny magazine tonight. Yeah, there it is. Let Your Life Blossom. So it was a healer and spiritual teacher. Shows you how to use the transformational energy of flowers in your home, which is another reason why I want flowers and plants in home. Because one, I think it looks pretty. Two, I think it's quite calming and, you know, to help you de-stress. Because, like I said, if you go out in nature, you feel calmer in plants and things. And I think that's why you should bring it in your house as well. And I'm not talking about plastic flowers. I'm talking about real flowers, because then you've got to nurture and water them. You know, you've got to look after them. But, and I was also thinking, because I'm not going to go into all this, but I think I'll save this for another time. This, like they were making mandalas out of flowers, and the mandala's like a circle, and repeated patterns that you put in it makes up a big, lovely pattern. And that's like a flower one. Probably quite relaxing putting that out, you know, putting all the little flowers up. That's another thing I'll talk about. But basically, I was just looking at it like, it says on it, there's different flowers. I should put this on my witchy woo thing, really, which is to do with like, could help with different intentions, to focus your intention and add extra potency to a sacred work, which is like, I could do some which ways, but what I mean is I would use this in my witchiness, my Wiccan thing, but because I'm on Positive Wednesday, I would say this is like, you could have this in your home anyway, because it says like roses are linked with love. So if you had a few roses in your house, that's helping out with love and relationship and your self-love. And then I'm just doing a few because there's a few on here. Lavender, purple, and lavender's associated with the crown chakra, the energy central for spiritual connectivity and higher purpose. But I think it's quite a calming thing as well, because you could have lavender in your house, you could have them on your windowsill, in the kitchen. Iris. Iris. In Greek mythology, Iris was the goddess of the rainbow, conveying messages from heaven to earth by following the arc of colour. The iris represents divine inspiration, enabling us to put our ideas into practice and raise our spiritual consciousness. Maybe I should have some of those in my house. But what I'm trying to say is, if you have roses that, you know, most people say they're associated with love, so to have a few roses in your house now and again. I know some of me and friends on here and that, we get our flowers from Aldi sometimes. I have roses because I dry them out on my, you know, my, you've seen the picture of the, I've shown you the flower dryer thing that I made. So that's sending love out in your house. And then I'd say something like, if you had daffodils, when daffodils are in season and stuff like that, that's like, to me, that's like happiness, you know, because they're quite bright. And laughter. Do you want that in your house? So you can bring things in your house that way with flowers, if you get what I'm talking about. It's another one. Oh, it says lilies, but if you ever get lilies, take them yellow bits off, because if they get on your clothes or anything, you brush past them, they stay in like anything. The trick is to take them off with paper towels, because they probably stay in your fingers as well. But it says lilies are associated the world over with purity, peace, calm, humility, peace, calm, and divine presence. They're often used in funerals and wedding bouquets to mark the sacred doorway to the body's final journey. Never knew that. That's quite sweet. And the entrance to the blessed state of marriage. Lilies will also deepen the feeling of serenity in yourself and in your home. So they're quite nice to have in your house, you know. You could have a few bunches of, you don't have to go out and buy massive bunches, but you could have, you know, roses in your bedroom, lilies in your dining room. You know what I mean? Just to get that vibe going of what them flowers and their intentions and energies are, you know, are meant to have on them, if you get what I'm talking about. But that is the sort of reason why I want plants in my house as well, and I want a lot. So when I had a little bench that I used to sit on here. Like I said, I'm on a bench now, but this was a low bench, and now I'm using that as a plant table in the conservatory to put flowers on. And it does look really nice because there's a shabby chic one, and it wasn't that day. And I thought, but then again, I might find some things in charity shops because I've got little. I just want some nice little side tables and things, that I can just make massive flower and plant arrangements. Because the thing is, as well, you could get a few flowers, and obviously if you've got a man or whatever and he's buying flowers, that's nice. But also, if you treat yourself to some flowers or your followers, then you can have them. But to get some actual plants in the house with flowers on, and other green plants as well, because a lot of green is nice to have in your house. It's calming. I think it's calming because it's nature. That's how I feel about it. But also, then you don't have to keep thinking, oh God, I have to buy loads of flowers. You can get you maybe flowers once a week, whatever, treat yourself. I do, but I didn't get any this week actually. Oh no, I did, because I bought that big thing up there. I bought that, didn't I? So, but then you can have lots of plants out that will, bloom flowers and things. But you're looking after them, so they're going to come back. They're going to keep coming back, and you look after them. If you look after them well and feed them, water them and everything, then you'll always have like that sort of flowery, planty look in your house. If you know what I'm talking about. I'm just waffling tonight because I didn't really know what I was going to talk about. But that's why I want them in my house. That's why I keep saying that I want to bring that vibe in. I want to get as many flowers and plants in as I can. And I know, yeah, I've got a Finn, and to tell the truth, he's not really bad at touching things, because you know what kids are like sometimes, but he's always been told, so he's not that bad. He's not even gone over to that plant and tried to, I don't know, pull leaves off me. I don't know how he'll be when I do get a load of plants in, but then again, he'll be told, so, not to touch them. And maybe it'll be nice, because as he gets older, you've got to go around watering them. He could have a little watering can, and he could help me do it, because I sort of want him to do that in summer as well. I want him to help me in the garden, because I think it's lost on kids that now sometimes. I don't mean being outside, but when I was younger, just outside all the time. But just helping out little things. Like I said, I want a bird table, so there's times when we'll be able to make some of the bird, is it like fat ball things you can, I don't know, or we can just go out with, I got some bird seed the other day actually from Aldi, so we can help with little jobs like that. Be quite sweet, I think. And it's teaching him to be nice to plants as well, because a few weeks ago we were in the garden and my grass needs cutting, so hopefully if it's dry this weekend I'll trim it. I'll cut it. I'll get the lawnmower out. Normally my mum does it, because every time she comes down she cuts the grass, and then it doesn't need doing until she comes down the next time. But I will get it out if it's dry this weekend. But I'm liking my garden at the minute. My mum will go mad, but it's sprouted a lot of dandelions and daisies, but I think it looks dead cute. But I'll have to cut it down. But when Finn went out, I was like, oh, look at the flowers, and he was like standing on them, and I was like, no, we don't stand on them. Don't need to stand on them. You know what kids are like? They just want to pull the flowers off plants, don't they, and stuff like that. But oh my